What's up, people? Welcome to another album review. This time we are doing Perfectly Preserved by Love and Death. This is actually my second album review, so check out last week. I did a review for Those Who Wish to Exist by Architects, and I've actually done a video almost every day in between that, so make sure to check those videos out as well. This album's actually been out for a couple weeks now. I had put off making a review of it because I was waiting to get this in the mail. This is the special edition or whatever. And I thought maybe there'd be additional songs on it, and then obviously that would affect my overall opinion in the letter grade I'm going to give it at the end. Really, I think it just had to do with the packaging. I mean, this is freaking gorgeous, but it's got the same number of songs and all of that, and the booklet inside's really neat as well. So just a few things before we really get into it. This is the first Love and Death album since 2013. This is only their second album. A lot of reasons why it took so long for that to come about. Dan Johnson, who was their drummer for a really long time, he moved over to Red. He's been Red's touring drummer since, 2015, I think. On top of their frontman, Brian Head Welch, is in Korn, so that makes it hard. And then their producer, Jason Roche, is in Breaking Benjamin. So everyone's very busy. Everyone has very busy schedules. Jason Roche, who produced both of their records, actually, is now an official member of the band. He is the bass player in the band. And I think it's just overall really cool to see how many ties the band Red has with Love and Death. Red's my all-time favorite band. And Jason Roche was in Red for their first two albums. I already mentioned Dan Johnson. And then it also says that Joe Rickard co-produced this album. He was Red's drummer from Innocence and Instinct to Release the Panic. However, Dan Johnson is no longer their drummer. Their new drummer is Isaiah Perez, previously of the band Righteous Vendetta, and also is now the drummer for Phineas. While he is in the band photos, the music video for Down, all that stuff, I do not believe he played drums at all on this record. If you listen to this record, it really sounds like Dan's style of drumming, and Isaiah's a very technical drummer, as you could tell by listening to older Righteous Vendetta songs and Phineas songs. And this album's been in the works for several years now, so I do not believe that it's actually Isaiah playing on the record. I'm pretty dang sure it's Dan. So yeah, it's been 8 years since they've had a record. Let's go ahead and get into it song by song and see if it was worth the very, very long wait. I should also mention that it's only a 10-track album, and the first track is barely even a song. It's more of an intro track. And I don't know, I kind of wish that there was more to it since we had to wait so long. But I also know that it's, more or less just a side project. So it's, you get what you get. And as much as I love the band, I'll take what I can get. So the album opens up with Infamy, which, like I said, is kind of more of an intro track than it is a song. But it does have a solidified, here's a verse and here's a chorus, and it does have some growth throughout. So it's kind of a song. And it really is just a slow tempoed, moody sounding thing with lots of piano, a little bit of guitar. Really sets a good mood, honestly, and gets you really excited. Song number 2 is Tragedy. Honestly, Tragedy might be my least favorite song on the album. However, I think it coming in so early isn't that big of a deal. It is a pretty hard-hitting song. I don't know if it would cohesively belong anywhere else on the album. I think the only reason I don't love it is because it really just sounds like a Korn song, which makes sense, but But the fake out ending that they have in the song, oh, that is cool. Track 3 is Down. Down was the first single that they released for the album, and they have a music video out for it as well. Oh my gosh, I was so excited for it. It's so good. I had it on repeat nonstop for so long. I couldn't think of a better way to come back. It's heavy, it's catchy, it's what's good about Love and Death. Track 4 is an interesting one, Let Me Love You. There's a few things that are really cool about this song. First of all, if they're going to do a cover song, Let Me Love You is an interesting one. I think a great part about this song is that they're really getting JR more on vocals. He is a pretty good singer, and he's really the main vocalist on this song. From what I've gathered, he's the main person who threw this cover together. It sounds like maybe he just kind of did it on his own and presented it to the band and was like, hey, what do you think? He sang a little bit on the first Love and Death record, but he's singing quite a bit on this one, and this song is really his standout, take front. And I think that's really cool. And then, of course, we have Lacey Sturm, previously of Flightly, featuring on this song, and she just does an amazing job. I did overplay it a lot when I first heard it, though. When the album first dropped and I heard it, I had it on my my top 10 of the week playlist on Spotify. Link to that in the description if you want to know what I'm listening to. And I probably over-listened to it and got annoyed with it, but I took a break from it, and now it's cool again. Track 5 is Death of Us. I don't know if I can really pick a favorite song on the album, but this would definitely be a competitor. Like I said, with Down, it's kind of everything that makes Love and Death a good band. It's really heavy, but really catchy. And there's also just a lot of really interesting things production-wise on it. Track 6 is Slow Fire. So I don't really know what this means, but in the CD booklet, it says that Jenna Welch, who's Brian Head Welch's daughter, wrote the intro and performed the intro to the song. And it's kind of like a slow build at the beginning. So I don't know if that's what she did or not. But I thought it was kind of cool that she got to contribute to something of her father's. However, the song more or less kind of just comes and goes. It's not really the strongest song, and I mean, you can only listen to drop G sharp, baritone, open note, singy, screamy stuff for so long, and it's still, every song sounds unique. It's a good song, it's just, you know, it kind of gets lost behind everything else on the album. Track 7 is The Hunter, and we got, I always forget the guy's name, hold up. Keith Wallen. Gosh, I don't know why I never remember his name. He was previously the guitar player of Adelita's Way. He's currently the guitar player for Breaking Benjamin. So I'd like to think that, like, over the years of this, that every time that the people in different bands were together, they were just working on stuff. So like Korn and Breaking Benjamin, I've done a few tours together, and I feel like maybe that's how Brian Head Welch was like, hey, Jason, you want to be in the band? And then that's how they got Keith on there. So I don't know. I like to kind of come up with those scenarios. It starts off kind of like what I was saying with Slow Fire, which it just kind of sounds like, you know, everything else on the album. But Keith is a great singer and brings a lot to the table. The song is really catchy and goes into some interesting stuff lyrically. Track 8 is Lo Lamento, which was a single back in, I don't know, 2016 or something. And I do really like this song. There's a link in the description of this video to my old YouTube channel, All Things Christian Rock. One of the last videos I made on that channel is a guitar cover for the song. Check it out. Overall, one of my favorite songs. However, I do gotta say there's something weird about it. There's something different about this version than the original version. And I don't know if they went back and they mastered it a little bit, or if something was re-recorded or mixed different. I don't know, but something about it is a little different. Not better or worse, just different. And it's a little offsetting for me to hear it now. Track 9 is Affliction. Brian's got a sick scream in the chorus, and then they got this super sick layered scream thing in the bridge. Probably the heaviest song on the album. And again, it's nice to hear JR getting to do some stuff vocally. And then finally we have track 10, which is White Flag. Going back to Isaiah Perez used to be in Righteous Vendetta. Well, now on this song we got Ryan Hayes, who's the vocalist for Righteous Vendetta, doing guest vocals on it. And he is, oh, so good. They actually did a live stream concert when this album first dropped, and they got Keith Wallen and Lacey Sturm to come do the concert, but for whatever reason, Ryan couldn't do it, so they had Matty Mullins of Memphis Mayfire step in and do his part, and Matty did great, and it reminded me of the good old days when Memphis Mayfire was still a metal band. But he really brought the heat and makes me excited for more Righteous Vendetta stuff, because I've been listening to them for years and years, and they're great. And this is a really cool way to end the album. I'm generally someone who likes it when an album kind of ends on a low note. It kind of gives you a sense of relief and release as you finish the listening experience and move on with your life. But this is an instance where I'm kind of glad that it ends on that heavy note, because now I'm just left wanting more, especially after a shorter album. So what do I think overall about the album? I have a lot of thoughts, honestly. On one hand, I love Love and Death. I saw them back when they were still the Brian Head Welch band, and I've kept up with them ever since. I just get giddy whenever I hear anything new from what they're working on. So part of me is just happy to have anything new from them after, you know, having to wait so many years. And then part of me also wishes that there was more. I realize that, you know, they all have other jobs and other musical endeavors, and I don't know what I mean by that. I don't think it's necessarily the songs. I think the songs are really good. I think it's a very natural evolution from their first album. There's a lot of things that are the same or similar, and it's a very natural growth. And then also, just as I've mentioned, is a short album. And I feel like after, 8 years in between albums, there might be more than 10 songs. Overall, though, can't complain. It's really good. I've listened to the heck out of it. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it an A-. Probably my favorite album that has come out so far this year, but I don't know how it lives up to their first album overall. But thank you guys for checking out this video. If you disagree with the letter grade that I gave this album, let me know in the comments down below. Also, over the course of the next week, I'm actually going to do 2 more album reviews. I'm going to do one for Demon Hunter's acoustic album, Songs of Death and Resurrection. I'm also going to do one for Spaceman by Nick Jonas, and I might be having a friend hop on that review. And then if there's also any other albums that are coming out in the near future that you think I should check out and do a review on those as well, let me know that in the comments as well. And give this video a like and hit subscribe. Send it to anyone else that you think might enjoy it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.